Did you know, Silda, when I kept sending you pages? Did you know this is how they react?
Of course I did. You're surprised.
I'm always surprised.
What? You thought there would be no consequences to telling the truth? The truth can be a very expensive hobby. At least yours leaves you with something. My little hobby's left me broke.
But I could hold off. I mean, I did enough just finishing writing it. I mean, I could hold off without needing it in the world for a bit.
Don't you dare.
It's not that I'm scared. It's just that I don't want to be unkind.
To these terribly kind people?
My father is not unkind, Silda. That's just the part I don't understand.
Why didn't you let me get you some concealer? You have these dark circles under your eyes. You need some TV touch, honey.
TV touch? Jesus. You think I need a goddamn makeover?
Oh, just sit still and don't be jumpy. You need a Xanax or something? We've got a whole Halloween bag full of stuff.
This isn't in the slightest bit funny. Stop trying to make me laugh.
Okay. Lyman is not unkind. But your parents are trying to hold on to the last bits of power and influence they have, and they can't imagine a world in which you're allowed to speak of it critically. They tried to make Henry over into one of them. They cut his hair, they sent him to boarding school, they wouldn't allow him to express any anti-war sentiments in the house, forbid his friends to come to the house. I tried to protect him, but I was no match for them. Your parents were driven by fear. Fear led to punishment, and in the case of your brother, the cost of his life. And you managed to tell it all in your book, just by telling the story of this family. Isn't that something? So please, I'm begging you, don't back down. Brooke, you're stronger than Henry was. Your book gives him everything I couldn't. So I'll tell you what I told him. Do what you must. Fight on. Brooke, don't back down. Do it for him. For Henry. Please. You'll win because you have ideas. They have only fear.
Look at that. How do you have no pictures of your son? Rock Hudson, Sinatra, you, me, Tripp, Mom and Dinah Shore.
Oh, I introduced them. They had a chemistry.
One picture of Henry, age 17, no high at school. He wanted to be an actor. God, he played the best of both of them. He played Hamlet in high school. God, he understood that play. All that ambivalence, all that rage, God, he understood it. But this California surfer boy Hamlet type.
He was wonderful. He would have been a movie star.
Your tea.
Thank you.
Are you okay?
I think I'm coming down with something, a bug of some sort.
Oh, well, this will help.
You know, I never wrote my memoir because it would have hurt our friends after what happened to Henry, after the way he was implicated, how they all vanished, and your mother refused to accept him. She circled the wagons around me, born out of thinking that I was easily bruised. I am not easily bruised, but she would not let them off the hook. You know, she's the only woman to have stared down Nancy Reagan, Betsy Bloomingdale, and Mrs. Annenberg at the same luncheon and reduced them all to tears. Tears of shame for their unconscionable behavior. As if I had planted that bomb. Your mother reminded them of who we really were and of their obligations to loyal friends. Nancy went to Ronnie and sat him down. They threw a dinner for us at the LA Country Club, and everyone was there. Yes, now they were our friends again. And by the time Ronnie became president, they made me ambassador.
I didn't realize Mom did that.
Please, please don't do this, Brooke. I mean, I cannot embarrass these people. Jesus, some of them are still alive. But you can do what you want after we're gone. I mean, don't you understand that? It's simply good manners. It's as simple as that.
Good manners have got me into a lot of trouble. Probably you too, Dad. I am past the point of good manners.
You have so much of your mother in you. You don't like weakness, especially in yourself. Oh no, you can't forgive it. Well, it's what put you in a damn hospital. Well, if you can't forgive yourself, then I suppose it's futile to ask that you forgive me. No. So you'll publish your book and you'll punish us all. And a reporter will call me and ask me for a comment. And I will say, no comment. And I will keep saying it until I die. No comment!
God, oh, I love that smell. That vapor. If I could just live in that scent, I'd be happy. Never need another drink again. I would just breathe it in.
Make us a sandwich. We haven't eaten since breakfast.
Not really hungry, actually.
You're not supposed to not eat, Brooke. I was really looking forward to all that strange food at the country club. Crab legs, a whole roast pig, and then there's suddenly like pad thai and gefilte fish. Crazy mix.
I think I've successfully demolished Christmas Eve. They've been in there far too long.
Yeah, preparing the attack.
How can you stay so neutral on this?
Who said I was neutral? I just said I'm still absorbing it all.
So you support me?
I didn't say that, did I? Look, I haven't read it from start to finish, but enough. You probably have the right to publish whatever you want about pretty much anyone, whether that's decent or cool or not. And they have the right to push back, whether that's decent or cool or not.
It's like you've learned to play chess in Mom's womb and you're playing against yourself and everybody else is a pawn.
What do you want? For me to be like, oh boy, sis, sure, art comes before life.
No, that is the worst kind of oversimplification.
But you sort of think it does. And so you have to accept the consequences of art over life, which in this case is likely to be losing the trust of the people you love over these opinions, these bewildering portraits of people who seem totally unrecognizable to me.
Well, maybe your powers of observation.
Let me finish, since you want to know. Opinions. You turn Henry into some saint of the 70s, all innocent questioning and reacting to the oppressiveness of these waspified GOP zombies in the other room. And it just seems to me that maybe he was really, really sick and fucked up and needed some help and was hanging out with mad bombers at the very least. I mean, Christ, I was 5 when all this happened, and reading that made me feel guilty. But Mom and Dad, you think they don't blame themselves?
They weren't trying to help him. They kicked him out.
But did they kick him out? Or did he just fly off in rage and fury? It seems to me like you're looking for an apology. Maybe they have apologized and you just haven't noticed it.
An apology? You don't write books because you want apologies, Trevor. You write books because of who you are, a person that writes books. The only obligation I have is to myself to write it, and that's as far as that goes. I did not come here to be emotionally blackmailed and censored by 2 people who live very public lives and then hid in the desert.
Well, A, don't really need to lecture on what a writer is, And B, it's just a story. A story you've told yourself and will now share with the world for fame and money.
Hey, I have no interest in money. You know that.
Yeah, because you're rich. Even if you don't take a cent from them, which is not entirely true because they paid for that fancy hospital in Cambridge where you camped out.
Hey, I wasn't camping.
You're rich. You're smart, absurdly white, Ivy League,
And who do you
New
think
York.
you are? What are you, deprived?
The difference between us is I don't use my 16 dozen little sicknesses for gain. You do. It's just who you are. You think being a depressive makes you special? Guess what? Being depressed makes you banal. And in your case, hard. Not easy to be with.
That is not fair.
Fair? Neither is Love and Mercy a memoir. And I love you. I totally do. I worship you. But this is true. What I'm about to say. So suck it up and take it. And don't interrupt. Because you had a breakdown, you believe you've earned a free pass here. Because you couldn't function and didn't care to eat, or brush your teeth, or wash your hair, or even pretty much speak, and for a while looked like you were to follow Henry down the trail to off yourself, you think this entitles you to portray a picture to the world of two people who failed in every possible context, as citizens, as parents, as humans.
Oh, you figured all this out, didn't you, Dr. Wyatt? When you weren't busy cooking up Jerry of your goddamn peers?
You want to be a little bitch about my TV show, Brooke? At least, at the very least, have the decency to watch it first, okay? This is 2004. You think you're not like everybody else on Oprah?
Don't talk to me like Mom talks to Silda.
Mom talks to Silda like she loves her. And as far as me being like Mom, listen, you're as hard as fucking Stalin, and as good at chess as anyone I know, and you didn't get that from Lyman.
Look, I accept the fact that you don't understand our parents as I have written them, that time has changed them, so why can't you understand that I've been as honest as I could in depicting events you weren't really aware of as a little kid?
Let me ask you a question. Did you give Silda the manuscript while you were working on it? Because I can smell her tone a mile away. And if I can, you bet that Mom can too.
Yes, I did. She was there for a lot of it.
Yeah, she sure was. Which she uses like a goddamn baseball bat to hit Mom and Dad for how crappy they were to Henry. What do you think Polly's gonna do to her sister when she finds out that Silda was goddamn deep throat for you?
I needed someone else's eyes to.
Brooke, I'm just saying you made the story better and added a lot of very specific detail to show you as the victim. You and Henry. Doesn't mean you're a liar.
Then please, please, Trip, just back me up. They listen to you before all others. I mean, if you just said it's okay, and it's okay in the way that you have, because I am not going to back down. I won't do it, and they're going to have to learn to live with it.
So wait. Here are my assignments for Christmas 2004. I have to convince Mom not to send Silda out on some ice floe like an Eskimo, which will be her first instinct, and get them to give you their blessing to publish a book which portrays them as right-wing sociopaths whose ideology destroyed their children's lives. Who am I? Rudolph the goddamn reindeer?
You do have a shiny nose, Rudolph.
I am so smoking a joint.
Don't understand this depression thing because you don't have it.
Yeah? That's what all depressives say. How would you know what I have or don't have? How? You have your head so far up your own ass you wouldn't notice if I were covered in killer ants and been stung to death right in front of you.
Don't say that.
But it's true. I mean, we joke about you not watching my TV show, but that's what I do. I make TV shows. It's part of my life. My life. There's some things about me you don't know. I was impotent for a year. I developed an unhealthy relationship with sleeping pills and kicked it cold turkey. I dated a Russian woman nearly twice my age and loved her. I take flying lessons, and I happen to have read almost every book written about the Civil War.
Wait, you take flying lessons, Rudolph?
Just because I am wasting my goddamn Stanford Berkeley education making cheerful, ironic TV shows does not mean that I am not deeply, deeply filled with despair. I mean, no one who takes pleasure as seriously as I do could possibly be happy. Don't you know that? I mean, look at me. I don't take my romantic life seriously at all. I'm probably a sex addict.
Oh, God.
I don't want kids because it's far too easy to fuck them up. And our parents call me every time they need help with their email or cell phones, and I am presiding over them getting older. And parts are going to start falling off again. And you haven't even noticed, but Dad has his little invisible hearing aid, which he's too vain to discuss. And they're the only people, besides you and Sleeping Beauty over there, that I have ever really, really loved. And you're half insane and vaguely suicidal. Zilla's totally insane and incapable of taking care of herself. And I can feel myself slowly becoming Hugh Hefner. Welcome to the end of the goddamn Golden State. I am California. And California is not happy. Have some more.
Oh, thank you. And I am not vaguely suicidal.
Well, you could have fooled me, Brooke. What is it? Isn't it revenge enough that everybody worries about you all the time?
I hate that people worry about me.
No, you don't. Come on. You fucking love it. You had to have this book to it.
But you told me I had to get back to work. You said it was up to me and that nobody was waiting on the next Brooke Wyeth novel. And that I had to change that. I had to force myself upon the world.
I said that to get you moving again. To get you writing. But not this. Besides, I thought you should write some nice goddamn play that nobody would ever go see.
You think I should stick it in a drawer, don't you? Well, just say that if that's what you think.
You want me to tell you what to do?
Yes, please, Tripp. Tell me what to do. I'll listen.
You never listen to anybody. But okay. If you're going to go through with it, do it without drama or apology. Just close your eyes and go for it. And if not, do it with grace and humility. How's that? I don't know. Just stop torturing everyone and looking at me like I'm a lost border terrier. Fuck!
Stop trying to make it harder for me.
Why not? This should be the hardest decision you've ever made. They've been really good to you, Brooke. They love you. They worship you. They think about you all day. They love you so fucking much. You know that, right? I mean, this will sort of kill them. Doesn't that count for anything in this life? I mean, notwithstanding what may have happened in the past, doesn't that count?
Jesus, I smell pot. I fell asleep here. God, I was so groggy. What time is it? You didn't go to the club without, did you?
No. It's 8:30. Nobody's gone anywhere. Mom and Dad haven't emerged from their quarters yet.
They haven't? You don't look so good. You been crying or something? Has anything happened? Did I miss anything?
No. We're just sitting here, talking, waiting.
Waiting for Judgment Day. Give me that hand.
Yeah, that'll really help things. You hide.
Hey, I'm not supposed to drink. Nobody said anything about drugs. Give it.
Oh, no. You gotta keep your wits about you. Tripp thinks Mom is going to make a thing about the manuscript. It'll be construed in a particular way.
Well, of course it will, exactly. That's why I want the pot. I knew it would come to this. She'll cut me off. I knew it would come to a head one day. Cut me off, kick me out. Where will I go? There's no royalties for those goddamn stupid Hillary movies. I have Social Security. That's it. That's all. I'll end up in...
Where? Where will you end up, my darling? In the actor's home? If you're lucky. If you're very, very lucky. Little stucco place in Desert Hot Springs, a retirement hotel? Well, we can get to that in due course. Yes, we can talk about that later.
Oh, boy.
It's 8:30. We could still go to the club, have dinner. But I need a drink first, of course.
I don't think anybody's hungry.
Oh, I'd like some Funyuns or something.
Hey, we should talk. Where's Dad?
In his study. He refuses to read it. He refuses to take a position that might hurt you. Isn't that something? You know what I believe in?
Aside from the right to bear arms.
This book, from what I've read, from what I could bear to read, is fiction.
Is it really?
Yeah, as a novel, it might be fun. Nasty, wicked, funny, smart, sad, all those things, I must admit. And kudos to your silent co-author here, my sister the betrayer.
Oh, for God's sake, Mom, will you let that one go? It's nothing, really. Please?
Let it go, Polly. Aren't you tired? What are you protecting, that old family picture in Life magazine? Nobody remembers that. Life magazine folded years ago. Nobody's looking, sis. Nobody's watching anymore. Hell, nobody even reads anymore. Her book, it's not nasty. It's even loving. More loving than I could have pulled off.
Well, of course you have a vested interest. I could hear your patois, your cadence a mile away. So, tell me, be honest with me, for once. No lies. Is that it? Is that why you started drinking again? Your consultations with my daughter?
Hey, I didn't need a reason to drink. Everybody in this family gets to escape but me. Look at you guys, drunk by sundown.
Silda, I am so tired of worrying about you, of wondering when you're going to take that final, last, long drink of gin. And I gave up years ago hoping that you might be a loving sister to me before you did.
Honey, I deserve a Nobel Peace Prize for loving you as much as I do. How do you love someone who became someone else?
Lots of bars open on Christmas Eve, Silda. Oh, I could pour you one myself if you like.
By all means, honey. Here I am, sweetie. Pour it if you like. You offer. Bring it on. And there it is, the real Polly Wyatt in living color. It's all in her book. That's why you're being driven crazy by it. Polly, I love you as much as I can, but honey, if you fuck your daughter over the way you did Henry, I will never let either of you live it down.
So you're not going to sign off on this?
Are you nuts? The entire thing is spurious. You wrote an entire book based on the premise that we drove our son to suicide, but only after years of incubating him as a murderer. All these years, that's what you thought?
I don't understand what I thought.
I guess you are a little crazy, aren't you? There's certainly manic energy in the book and in you.
Oh, is that how you're going to spin it, Mom? I was crazy when I wrote it? You want to go with that?
Well, leaving aside the grotesque characterizations of various and sundry friends of ours who come across really as a parade of doddering, self-satisfied, Paleolithic half-wits.
Is that so far-fetched?
Leaving that aside, let me just read you an example. After he is kicked out of the house, Henry has not been seen in weeks. On the news, Chet Huntley is talking about an army recruiting station in Long Beach that has been firebombed. The body of a janitor has been found inside, burnt beyond recognition.
Go on.
At 2 in the morning, there is shouting by the pool. Dad nose to nose with Henry, who is sobbing, pleading something. Without warning, Dad slaps him across the face with a retort that sounds like the tiny fireworks we used to buy in Chinatown. Again, 2 more times, Henry stock still as Lyman hits him again and again.
Yes, he told me what he had been a part of. I snapped.
I know, darling.
But I did not stand by our cool, striking him repeatedly. It was a reaction to... Oh, Jesus, I'm doing exactly what I said I wouldn't do, defend myself.
By the time I get downstairs, Henry is already gone. Dad looks at me, turns away, and picks up the phone. Police cars are called. Henry is all over the news. Instead of looking for him, my parents have sent the LAPD to find him, no matter the consequences.
Of